chapter 14. And we shall begin reading at verse 22. Matthew chapter 14, begin reading at verse 22, and there ye shall find these words. Then he directed the disciples to get into the boat and to go before him to the other side, while he sent away the crowds. And I'm reading from the Amplified Bible. And after he had dismissed the multitude, he went up into the hill by himself to pray. And when it was evening, he was still there alone. But the boat was by this time out on the sea, many furlongs distant from the land, beaten and tossed by the wave, for the wind was against them. And in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus came to them, walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were terrified and said, "It is a ghost." And they screamed out with fright. But instantly he spoke to them, saying, "Take courage. Stop being afraid." From those passages of Scripture with the aid of the Holy Spirit, we want to deal with this subject: row, row, row your boat. Amen. Row, row, row your boat. And I'm not talking about gently down the stream either. The 14th chapter of the Gospel of Matthew begins with the hypothesis of Herod the Great. King Herod was suffering from this thing called guilt. Why was that, brother preacher? Because he was guilty of murder. He had murdered a prophet named John the Baptist by decapitation. He cut off the head of this man. A closer look at the passage revealed to me that Herod did not want to cut off the head of John the Baptist, but he had given his word. And as a man, as a king, he could not go back on his word. And even though he was an evil man, he had some principles that we ought to emulate. Right. Herod said that he was a prisoner of his word. If he gave his word, he could not break it. And my brother and my sisters, if we give our word, then we ought not to break it. Well, many of us have given our word unto the Lord. Lord, if you save me, I'll do this. Lord, if you get me out of this, then I'll do that. But as soon as God steps in, then we turn around and go in a different direction. But yes, Herod's hypothesis was that John the Baptist was reincarnated. When he heard about Jesus, he said, "This is really John the Baptist who have come back to life." All right. After the chapter that deals with Herod and John the Baptist, and Jesus affirming that John was the greatest of all the prophets, the Bible says that Jesus went into a desert place to pray. Because after he had, and they had brought word about what they had done to John the Baptist, Jesus said, "My time ain't long now." Right. So they cut off John the Baptist's head. And Jesus knew that they would soon be coming after him. Yeah. And while he was there, multitudes of people followed him. And in the evening as the sun began to go down, and I want you to know that it's good to follow Jesus. But because if you want to know how to row your boat in times of trials and tribulation, then it's good to follow Jesus. The disciples said, "This is the desert place." And all the folk were standing around, and they had not yet went to Zaxby's. They didn't have a sweet pea. They didn't have a shoni. So Jesus said, "Look at here, instead of sending them away to find some food, sit them down.
All right.
Disciples said, well, Master, otherwise we'll sit them down. But I don't know what you're going to do because all we have is 5 little loaves and 2 little fishes. But y'all know the story. Y'all know the story of how Jesus can take a little something.
All right.
Yeah, and make a big something out of it.
That's right.
Because anytime you put it in Jesus' hand, anytime you put, and y'all do know all of us got a little boat that we row in, right?
Yeah.
All of us got things that we need to be rowing in, and when you put Jesus out front, everything else will fall in line.
Amen.
So having fed the multitude, and the multitude had witnessed his power and his ability to provide, they determined that, look at here, what we need to do, we need to make this man king. But I want you to understand, Jesus did not come to be king of the Roman government. A lot of them think, well, because of all the things they've done, we got to put him, and they looked and they saw and they believed that he came to overthrow the Roman government. But they didn't understand. The mind didn't quite get it, because he was not going to be king of the Roman government, but he was going to be the king of kings. Y'all get that later.
Yeah.
And the Lord of lords. Well, why you say that, preacher? Because the fact is that a couple of Jesus' disciples belong to the political party.
All right.
One was called Simon the Zealot. Yeah, he belonged to the party of the Zealots, a militant group that was ready to fight at the drop of a hat. Y'all know some folk like that, you get them twisted and turned up, they ready, but yet still they say, child, I've been born again, I've been saved, and I've been sanctified. Step on the bunions, and they'll be willing to fight at the drop of a hat. But we as believers, we need to understand that there's something that God allows us to do through the power of the Holy Divine Spirit. But there are other things that we need to put in his hand and leave them there. So they wanted to make him king. So notice how Jesus deals with the controversy. If one's ambitions and purposes were contrary to the will of God, Jesus didn't fight. He didn't argue. He just went and prayed. And I'm convinced, my brother and my sister, that if more of us would pray, we would avert much of the heartaches and the headaches that we experience today. Anybody ever found yourself in stuff that other folk got you into that you really didn't want to be in?
Yeah.
And really don't know how you got in it. That's why when people, and it's sad to say, but in rowing our boat in life, you're gonna run into some messy people. And in our rowing, we cannot allow them to get us off track. We must keep on rowing. We must keep on praying and understand that if God be for us, who can be against us?
Amen. All right.
Yeah. So have you. Jesus' prayer life kept him out of a lot of mess. Not only did Jesus go into the mountain to pray, but he watched the disciples while he was praying in the mountain.
All right.
Well, why you say, well, he was watching them as they rode and they toiled in the windstorm. Mark tells us in chapter 6, verse 48, that he saw them. And he saw them toiling and rowing. So not only was Jesus in the mountain praying, but he was observing the disciples in their frustrating endeavor to fulfill his purpose. And I don't know about y'all, but aren't you glad today that Jesus watches over you and I?
Amen.
Yeah, even recognize and realize that he's looking at you, he's watching you, even when you don't even see. And notice that, look at here, the hand of God is in the midst of this situation.
Oh, thank you, Lord.
He's there watching over us,
Yeah.
protecting us and keeping us from all hurt, harm, and danger.
Yeah.
Notice here, if you will, the apostles were in trouble because they were attempting to fulfill the command of the Lord. Jesus told them, so Martha, get in the boat and go over yonder to the other side. Brother Trey, they would have been on the shore with the multitude if Jesus had not given them the command to get in the ship and go to the other side. And so what are you saying, that preacher? Here we find, Deacon Elder, that the reason why they were in this situation is because they were doing what Jesus told them to do.
Yeah.
I want you to understand that when you do as the Lord said do, don't think you're going to be liked by everybody.
Amen.
Don't think that trouble will not come.
Right
now.
Trouble going to show up because you're trying to do the will of God.
Amen. Amen.
But the 24th verse of this 14th chapter makes it clear that the winds were contrary. Yeah. It was not to the point where it was calm, but the winds were contrary. The wind was blowing against them.
All right.
And I want you to understand that when you do what the Lord asks you to do,
Yes.
wind, I'm not talking about the element wind, but I'm talking about folks wind will blow against you. Because you're trying to row your boat and you're trying to get closer to the Lord, and they'll come in and they'll row against you. Trying to detour you, trying to knock you off course, trying to keep you from making it to Jesus. I want you to know it ain't always folks on the outside. It's people within the family of God.
Amen.
That strive to keep us from rowing our boat. Notice that all the disciples had to do to keep themselves from this situation. All they had to do was just turn around. And the wind that they were fighting against would help blow them and push them to the seashore.
All right.
But the thing about it is, when God has given you the commission to go, when God has given you the okay to move out, they're giving you the direction and what direction He wants you to go in, He got your back. All you do is just keep rolling. Because He will take care of you while you are rowing. Yeah, these men are in trouble because they're doing what Jesus said. And because they refuse to turn around.
All right.
Does the Lord have anybody in here that are made up in their mind that look at here regardless of how difficult it may get?
All right now.
I refuse to turn around.
Amen.
Regardless of how the wind may blow against me, I refuse to turn around. Yes, they were just simply trying to do what Jesus had asked them to do.
All right.
And the Bible says that in that fourth watch of the night, Jesus went unto them, walking on the sea. The men toiled and they worked all night, and here Jesus was in the mountain praying. And while he was praying, he observed the disciples in the midst of the sea.
All right.
He did nothing to help them until that fourth watch. This fourth watch is laden with power within it. Because the ancient Jews had broken up the night into 4 periods or 4 watches. When soldiering go into the field to fight and they set up camp around the perimeter of the camp, they set up guard that will be on guard duty to watch. And the guards are changed 4 times during that night. The 12-hour night was divided into 4 parts of 3 hours apiece. So the first watch at night is from 6 to 9 o'clock. That was called the evening watch. 6 to 9 at night was the first watch, and it was during this when the disciples began their trip across the sea on a boat. That's when they started rowing across the sea. The second watch is called the midnight watch. That's 9 to 12 midnight. The second group of guards come on at 9 and they stay there until 12. And then at midnight another group comes on and they stay there to 3. And that's called what is called the cock crowing watch. And the fourth watch is the time from 3 to 6 in the morning, which is called the morning one. So he didn't show up until the fourth watch.
All right.
But I'm glad he showed up.
Yeah.
I'm glad that regardless of what the watch is, that he'll show up. The Bible said that Jesus started to walk with them in the fourth watch. John 6 and 19 tell us that they had gone between 25 and 30 furlongs.
All right.
If you divide that by 8, you get about 3.5 miles that they had been trying to row, and in a 10 to 11 hour period of time, they had rowed but 3.5 miles. A 2-day journey. Here they still out there after 10, 11 hours trying to get to the other side. But I'm glad that God deals with us in our watch night.
Yes.
Yeah, these men experience frustration. Anybody who attempts something worthwhile, you better get ready to be frustrated. Folk gonna frustrate you. They gonna look at you and wonder why you're doing what you're doing and why you're so committed and dedicated to rowing your boat. But that's all right. Let them go ahead and talk. You keep on rowing your boat. Yeah, let me say this on the behalf of the disciples. I'm glad that I wasn't out there, because there's a possibility Sister Bonsia, when it got too rough, I would have turned around. So we have to applaud the disciples that they did not turn around.
Amen.
And if you had been in that situation, the wind blowing and all of that stuff, and you trying to row forward, and look like the more you row, you ain't going nowhere. Arms done got tired, body done got tired, mind done got frustrated. Yeah, you would have turned around too. Yeah, I'm glad. They did not turn around, but they kept on going. And I want you to know, whether you're young, middle-aged, or up in age, you ought not to quit. Stay the course. Continue to row your boat. You may get knocked down, but get up and keep on trying.
All right.
These men were getting nowhere, but they kept on rowing. Everybody looking for somebody who won't give up. When others tell you to quit, you keep on going. Because if you notice that these men were not in trouble because they had sinned, they were not in trouble because they had did something wrong. They were in trouble because they were looking to do what Jesus told them to do.
Amen.
I want you to know, don't give up. Regardless of what the naysayers may say, you keep rowing.
All right.
Your little boat. Yeah, for all the time. And here they were out there rowing and rowing. I wondered, look at here, Master. You see me in this situation. Why you didn't come and come quicker? Could it be that Jesus is watching you and I right now? Could it be that though he has done nothing to help us yet, he's just observing us? Could it be that Jesus is observing before he intervenes? Could it be that he wants to see what you got in?
All right.
Yeah, you see, some of us, we give up too easy. He want to know what we got in. Do we have that fortitude? Do we have that power within us to keep moving in spite of?
All right.
Could it be that the Lord set this thing up and put you and I in it so you and I can know who we are and how far we have come? Could it be the reason that the Lord has not done anything in your situation, in my situation, because he wants us to go a little farther? Could it be that you have not reached your breaking point? Because y'all do know that we may think we reached our breaking point, but God said, no, baby, you ain't reached it yet. I'm going to let you keep moving a little while longer.
Yeah.
Could it be that you need to try a little bit longer? Because God don't want no weaklings. Y'all do know that, don't you? God wants some giants.
All right.
God wants some folk who just won't give up at the first sign of opposition.
All right.
You know how we are when things don't go our way, we want to quit and give up. But baby, that's the time when you need to start rowing your boat even faster. Because these guys were going to become the head of the church. They were to become the apostles. They would be the one that God would look at through his son Jesus. So he had to prove them to themselves. And don't God have to prove us to ourselves sometimes?
Amen.
Lord have mercy. You look at here, you can take it. Don't give up, you can take it. If you can take it, baby, you can make it. Don't give up, don't give up. I know it get hard sometimes, but don't give up. Keep on working it out.
Yeah.
Know that the night been long, but work with it.
All right.
You're not going to drown. I got my eyes on you. I'm just going to let you work it out, and I'll be right there by your side. The wind is blowing, and the Lord said, look here, I know what's going on. I see the wind blowing. I see you rowing that boat of life, but baby, don't let the winds detour you.
All right.
Work with it. I see the water getting in the boat. Almost about to take you down, but don't worry, I'm not going to let you drown. Before you go under, I'll reach down and I'll pick you up.
Yes.
Just work with it.
All right.
Don't worry about when other folks around you are quitting. You just keep on rowing. Because I want you to know that I got just what you need.
All right.
Yes, and they were doing what came natural for them. And I want you to understand that instead of these men using this thing called faith, they used experience.
All right.
right.
It's good to have the know, to know that you know. But we're going to have to need some faith in order to overcome these winds of life.
Amen.
Yeah. Experience is good. But experience will not rescue us in the time of trouble.
Amen.
You got to have enough faith. Lord, I know that if I have faith in you, you told me to go. I'm going on in your name, and I know that you're going to be right there with me. So they knew how to fish. They had experience of fishing. They had the experience of knowing how to handle boats in the middle of a sea. But there's a thing that will come in all of our life, that all of our education and experience will not help us.
Amen.
All right.
The only thing gonna help us is our faith in God.
Yes.
So about 3 o'clock in the morning, just when they were almost worn out, Jesus decides to go to them. And I'm glad about this. Brother man, he did not call for the shipman to bring him a boat. He did not call for the boat handlers to bring him a boat to go to his disciples. Y'all do know he's Jesus, don't you?
Yeah.
And he got all power in his hand. So he said, look at here, y'all might not be fast enough to go and get me a boat so I can get in it to get to my children that's out there on the sea. So what he did, he decided that he was going to walk toward them. Yeah. He went toward walking to them as they were still rowing. And I want you to know that while you are trying, while you're striving in your efforts to get closer to the Lord, and winds, contrary winds keep blowing your way, I want you to be rest assured that God is walking towards you. Yeah, he got his eyes on you. No wonder the songwriter said he got his eyes on the sparrow. And if he got his eyes on the sparrow, I know he's watching over me. So don't lie down and cry. Get up and try. When they had gone as far as they could go, Jesus decided to come to their rescue. Yeah, I got a broken heart. Yeah, the Lord know your heart been broken, but deal with it. I got a mess on my hand. The Lord know what the mess is and how you got in the mess. He just wants you to keep on rolling with the mess.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah. He knows that what you got going on in your life. He just wants you to keep working and keep working and keep working and keep working and keep rolling. After a while, help will show up. Lord is saying right now, look at here, stop all that whining and crying you've been doing. You made progress. You come from a long way. You made some progress in life. You have not yet got where you need to be. Or where you're going, but just keep on rolling. Yeah, when you get weak sometimes, just look up to me and say, Father, I stretch my hands to thee. No other help I know. For yes, I'm glad that he knows when to come to us. Bible said that he walked to them, and y'all know about the history of man Peter. Peter himself, when he saw him, he said, if it be you, Lord, Lord have mercy. Allow me to come on out there where you are. But I want you to know that there are times that Peter is showing us that there are going to be times in our life where we're going to have to get out of Yeah, the boat. And we're going to have to go to Jesus. Not saying that Jesus won't come to us, but he wants us to meet him halfway. There are some things in our life that when we look down the corners of time, we can see that he said, look, keep on moving. Stop all your whining. Stop all your crying, because you ain't dead.
All right.
You still got breath in your body. And as long as you got breath, there's still hope. And if you keep rowing, I'll be right there with you. So they kept on rowing, and the Bible talks about that fourth watch. That fourth watch is a proclamation from God that shortly the sun is going to shine. The Bible says of Jesus that he is the root and the offspring of David. Jesus is also the bright and the morning star. So when it gets real dark, Jesus said that in a little while the sun will shine. And y'all do know that right between 3 and 6 a.m. If you go outside, you can see the stars in the sky. Just before the break of day. The rooster, if you got any chickens on your yard, the rooster will begin to crow. Because let you and I know that the sun has began to rise. Do I have a witness here? And I don't know about y'all today, but I'm so glad that if I keep on rowing my boat, it may get dark sometime, but the sun will shine. Do I have any witnesses? One writer said, weeping may endure for a night, oh Lord, but joy will come in the morning. Do I have a witness? When the wind of hatred is blowing against you, hang on. When the wind of jealousy is blowing against you, I keep on rowing. Hang on. When they talk about you and they hang your name on every side, Lord, I keep on rowing. When you're misunderstood but trying to do it right, I keep on rowing. Hang on. Sometimes it seems like it ain't going nowhere. Do I have a witness here? But I'm so glad that the God I serve don't deal in distance. Do I have a witness here? He deals in this thing called time. Hang on. I may be not going anywhere, but if I spend some time while I'm in the storm, hang on. While the wind is blowing. closer to Jesus. Regardless of what age you're in, you got a boat that you got to row. Great Mama and them could have said this way. All of us got a row to hoe. All of us got a boat that we've got to row. Regardless of how rough it may get. Regardless of how dark it may seem. Keep rowing your boat. Jesus sees you. And he knows when to step in. Some of us want him to come right then and there. But God is the judge. He is the one that got all power in his hand. Sometimes we'll fool ourselves because we're stronger than what we think we are. When you're in Jesus, he says all things are possible. And my sins. There may be someone that may not have opposite.